Hey YouTube, it's Hannah Loba. If you want more MotoAmerica content, check out the new and vastly improved MotoAmerica Live Plus app. It's the only place you can catch all the race action in one place all season long. Click the link in the description below.
This is going to be our starting grid, and it's Jaden Fernandez on pole with Avery Dreyer and Matthew Chapin, but Jason Fernandez missed our sighting lap procedure, so it looks like he's going to have to start from the back of the grid.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Medina, Batty, and Ella Dreyer just outside row 2 there. Greg Block, Woodworth, Cunnison, who we saw win last out at Barber, so we'll see how he does here on the wet. Wolf, Juliana Fernandez, and Solly Mervis coming back there from row 4. Carson King, Gabriella Lewis, Andrew Way, Rivera, Barber, and Hollingsworth. And then last row, Greg, we got James Williams and Gendron. So, yeah, there's a couple of guys that we're going to keep an eye on. I think the front row, either, Greg. So, Dreyer's on the front row by himself with Eli Block right there behind him.
We're away racing, 6 laps scheduled for this race. And the 39 with a really good launch, but it's the number 1. It looks like Avery Dreyer on the Bad Boys Racing got the launch, but we have a long way to get to turn number 1. And he gets swallowed up just like that. Who's going to come out on top? It's the 39 of Yandel Medina, who's going to lead the way, but trying to sweep around the outside. Not going to get done as we head down to turn number 3.
Yeah, and Greg, you got to remember, this rain has come in for about the last 45 minutes. These guys did get a small 12-minute window to go out and look at the track prior to this race. That's something that MotoAmerica does. If we haven't had these conditions all weekend long, and then it rains before, it gives these guys a chance to go out and see what the conditions are like. So we're going to be looking. Look at the spray. This is what happens when you have a very, very fast racetrack like MotoAmerica. The spray becomes a lot more prominent as they go down this back straightaway, down into turn 5. You can see it's raining pretty hard down here, Greg. And as they break and tiptoe down here into turn 5, first lap, really impressed with those front leaders right now, doing a good job. Everybody looks like they're going to make it through. And you can see, Greg, the pack is still pretty much all together.
They're really close, and this is an opportunity for some racers that don't necessarily have that speed in the dry to showcase their rider talent in the wet. And in the Junior Cup class, it's really important as you see one rider start to break free. Don't worry about that, because we're going to come up on another straightaway as the 27 of Woodworth is trying to break away, but it's these long straightaways that bring these bikes back together.
Yeah, they really do. And like you said, Greg, there's going to be some people that as soon as it starts to rain, there's people that just are specialists when it comes to this rain weather riding, and then others get a little bit more nervous, as we can see a pass back there right now. So we got the first 4 running away. I'm trying to figure out, looks like Solly Mervis might be coming up from 5th, and just behind him, 27 right now is the leader. And you got to look at Isaac Woodworth. What a tremendous job he's done. He's come from 8th on the grid, Greg, and to lead these guys onto the back straightaway with Avery Dreyer, your defending champion, doing a good job. We've seen him win a race this year, but it has been a tough start for Avery so far this season. He needs to get some of these points for sure. And it's just a little bit hard visibility-wise to see who is all up there. And then we're going to look here, that 3rd place bike. It's definitely one of the Barcom bikes there, as Solly Mervis tips off down into Canada corner. He'd made his way up to 4th and just a little bit too much brake. Leaned over going into Canada corner, and so we've kind of seen our first rider fall there on the 25.
Mervis on the hustle, but it looks like something fell off the bike too on that right side. It might be the shifter. So it might be curtains for Mervis for this one, but a good run nonetheless, building confidence for the young rider.
I mean, it's definitely, we've seen better days here at MotoAmerica for racing, but those kids are hanging in there, and so am I. And for the most part, in general, everyone in the class is so young, they lack experience riding in any wet conditions. But overall, no one has ridden on this new track surface here at MotoAmerica because we were in the dry last year.
This is our first real look, I think, at how this repave at MotoAmerica deals with the water, because it looks really good. We don't see puddling, and you know, obviously there's water on the racetrack, but if you're new to motorcycle road racing and you're watching this for the first time, but as they come up to the stripe, it was 3:06. They go 2:59.5. So another second this group has found. But it's also thinking about this move right here, the draft and pass maneuver. And what are you going to do with 3 laps to go? So it's time to start sizing up the competition and figuring out where you're confident and where you're
back there in fourth with Medina in fifth. Medina right now is probably pretty happy to take these fifth place points and move on, as we know the weather's going to be nice here tomorrow, so we've been told. So you know, for Medina, this is one of those races where you just want to kind of get through it. Again, Woodworth does the work getting down into turn 5. He goes back past.
And also Dreyer, pretty tall. You can kind of see the profile difference too for these riders, and that arrow does make a difference. Down into turn number 5. We've seen a lot of incidents in the dry.
Down into the chicane and stuff, but Chapin, man, he's doing a really good job of just putting himself where he needs to be. 95 is just going to sit there, and you know, Greg, he's just going to get pulled along down these straightaways, and
at a decent pace.
Yeah, it's coming down pretty good. In fact, in that shot we just saw, I saw Eli Block back there the lap prior. He's got himself down into the 3-minute 2 marks as Chapin takes over second place. So I think Matthew's doing a nice job here.
Woodworth, who goes 58.7, so a little quicker, but Chapin goes 58.4 to Avery Dreyer's 59.2. So all of a sudden these two dip into the 58s.
Chapin was leading and Woodworth went right by him as they went down into turn 1. You saw, as soon as Chapin sat up, Isaac just kept the bike on the throttle just a little bit longer and was able to get by. So the 27 feels really comfortable leading right now, doesn't he, Greg? And it looked like he's going to try to make a run for this thing, even down through the back part of our track as they come through in Canada Corner and such. So again, Chapin's in the draft of the 27. Dreyer just not quite close enough to do anything with the 2 in front of him. Chapin's going to pull up alongside as they go down into turn 5. Let's see if Woodworth cuts it back up underneath him and goes back down the inside of him when they break for turn 5.
Yeah, you have definitely different strategies. I think both of these riders think that they need to be out front in order to win this, because Chapin didn't quite have the run he needed to the line, and Woodworth has got a lot of confidence because he's been holding off his competition to the stripe, but the 95 wants that lead. Yeah, he wants a little bit of gap if he can get it coming out of the final corner.
Chapin's working hard to try to not let Woodworth. We've got 2 riders down in that turn 5 area, and I'm trying to see.
And Levy Batty, the 71, is one of them.
I thought it.
Could it be Logan Cunnison or maybe Ella Dreyer?
I don't know. We'll have to have a look there again and see. But so the 3 riders, though, still trying to sort this out in the front as Isaac Woodworth has taken the lead again. And Dreyer now pushes his way through on Chapin to get himself into second place. So look at Isaac right now, Greg, just pulling away through the carousel. He's got probably a good 6-8 bike length lead. He's got to get through this chicane absolutely perfect. If the 27 can do that, he might be able to pull just enough of a gap to beat these guys across the line. It was Yandel Medina, we're hearing, that actually went down, our points leader, Greg. So it makes this race for the battle for first even more important. Dreyer did a great job of getting through the chicane, as good as Woodworth, maybe even a little bit better. But Isaac still at the front, and you see Chapin now is going to take a shot at Dreyer. So this is going to help Isaac Woodworth at the front as Chapin gets to that spot. And he goes down, and both riders down. Chapin now by himself. So Dreyer goes down and ends up, his body actually takes the leader, Isaac Woodworth, out. Wow.
Wow, Woodworth had no idea what was going on, and that was a hard hit for Avery Dreyer. But now the number 95, Matthew Chapin, in the right spot the entire race on the Bart Karn Racing Kawasaki Ninja 400, is set to win this race.
Cannot believe his luck. And let's not forget, Eli Block, his teammate, was running 4th. We haven't seen if he's there still, but it could be a Bart Karn 1-2 here in a very rainy Road America.
The checkered flag flies, and it's Matthew Chapin with his second win of the season. 12.5 seconds over Eli Block, and Ella Dreyer gets all the stuff that was going on around her and people falling off and everything else, gets her first podium. Logan.
As a young rider, dreaming about that moment, and then once you get up there, you got things you want to say and your mind goes blank, but you could just see the emotion in her face, and just it's really awesome to see. She rode so good at Barber, and you know, like she said, this race just kind of doing the laps, not taking any chances, and it worked out for her.
Matthew Chapin, I loved that honest answer that he gave to Hannah Lopa about how Avery Dreyer, he said he was a demon on the brakes, and he recognized that.
Yeah, he recognized that, and also he didn't try to get caught up in out-braking him and getting in that battle. It's smart for Matt to know that, you know, where his weaknesses and his strengths are, and